Yeah, these guys are still gracious to me at least. Because I'm sorry, I haven't sent out the videos yet because I haven't really had time to download them and all of that because I have to download, upload to YouTube, all of that. But it's okay, I'll do it. I promise, Bianca, I think I had promised you and quite a number that I'll really get it out there. So allow me, guys, to just get started. So welcome everybody. It's wonderful to have you as always. And today we are actually looking at I think a topic that all of us find very interesting. It's been trending, obviously. We're looking at Dogecoin. Actually, the first time I think we're looking at a coin specifically because previously we've covered concepts. We've talked about cryptocurrency in general, obviously with Bitcoin as the front runner. That was in the first part. I think it's probably series 1 or 2. And then today is the first time we're really talking about a specific coin in detail because we've never really been given this coverage to Ethereum or Bitcoin as such. So yeah, so it's actually exciting. So I'm calling it all you need to know, about Dogecoin, because I think from the conversation we had last week, and obviously what has been happening over the last month or so, and in particular, I think last week, the build up towards SNL, there was this really a strong public interest. I mean, we would have spoken to another topic, but I felt strongly that we needed to look at Dogecoin in particular, because it's a phenomenon, it's an anomaly compared to what else is happening in crypto. And welcome, Godfrey. It's great to have you again back.
Thanks. Thanks, team. Thanks, team.
Great. So you just came in good time. So we are looking at Dogecoin today. So I'm going to just carry on and really give us a lay of the land where we are. So we've covered as far as that. We actually on number 11 today. Next week will be 12. And that will probably be a completion series for what we call specific topics. We'll see what will happen after that. But I think, sorry, okay, great, cool. I was just taking a note of what Julia had to say. And so we'll just carry on. So this is where we are. So we've covered quite a lot. Obviously, I mean, I know, maybe not all of you have attended the sessions as consistently, but I mean, we have all of those recorded. If you really need to be able to revisit any of them, please reach out. We are happy to share that back to you. Okay, we continue. So this quote is something that I kind of go back to in as much as I don't like to belabor it, but I'm going to mention it again because I mean, I speak to people and I'm in a very strong, as we also engaged yesterday with the champions, we have a team of people called community champions that we inaugurated yesterday. I speak to people and then they tell me, yeah, I'll look at it and I'll come back to you. And I actually feel sorry for them because this is not a space to really look at and delay and take the next 6 months because this space really moves very fast. And that's why I think for me, the premise still remains, do you have a strategy? Today, we're going to look at Doge and we'll be able to answer that question because I think it's important for us to have a perspective that allows us to move forward. Again, about me, I think I've shared this slide previously. I think in the summary is that I'm doing what I'm doing because it's something that I feel is important and it's because of missed opportunities in the past. I think Theo would resonate with me fully. If we all knew before, we would have been, millionaires by now and we'll just be sitting somewhere near a beach or on a yacht somewhere and just, enjoying pina coladas and really, living the good life. So, so here is where we begin. And we're going to talk about a meme today, which is Dogecoin. And I just thought, this was an interesting opening quote by Carl Lazen, whatever. It says a meme is a unit of information, which is a catchphrase, a concept, a tune, a notion of fashion, philosophy, or politics that leaps from brain to brain. Memes compete with one another for replication and are passed down through a population much the same way genes pass through species. I thought this was very interesting, because it's something that, and you'll see it in the next set of slides that we're gonna cover. Now, and this is almost like what we don't want to acknowledge, the unspoken form of thoughts. It's like, why didn't I buy when I first became aware of it, And then what if I had bought more of it? If only I'd taken an interest in crypto early in my life, or it could be in Doge or whatever it is that, is trending. Because again, if you're told this thing made 800% in a month, that's not mean change. But then I might be rich by now. Those are the thoughts that we're thinking about secretly. We may not say it loudly, but, I think I definitely have thought about this. So I'm going to go to the next set of slides, and I think you're going to really be able to just entrench this concept before we get on. So Welcome, Josie. I think hopefully you can hear us. Welcome. It's good to have you. So here, Theo, this is my favorite meme. This is my favorite meme. It's called what? Popo, I think. Theo, can you see my screen? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can see. I can hear you. Sorry, I was on mute.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you familiar?
Popo.
Yeah, Popo. Yeah. Who is not familiar? Let's just see who is not familiar with this character. Oh God, I love this guy.
You are all breaking up, so I'm not sure if it's my network or.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Tim, I can hear you.
Yes, Tim. Yes, Tim, I can hear you.
Okay. Are you guys familiar with this meme?
Yes, a character. Comedian.
Yes.
I know the guy. Yes.
There are actually two. There are actually
But
two.
but you know what?
Oh.
I don't normally watch this guy. I just feel like he's really just noisy. But
yeah, so I mean, I really
know
love
his
him.
faces.
He's a man, though. He's a very old man. He's a very old man.
Yes.
He's just stunted.
Yeah, so I think we seem to relate to that. And please feel free to comment on anything. Is there an impression that it makes onto you other than what Julia said? Any thoughts on this meme? Okay, I'm going to proceed to the next one. This other one. Yeah. I think we are familiar with this gentleman. In the middle, I don't know what my president was doing there. Of course, we know our leader here in the last one. Yeah, trying to put on a mask. And then, I mean, I think this was a very interesting caption that went to the first one. So again, memes are everywhere, you know, and then this is my favorite meme. I don't know who has never seen this one. This was the best meme for 2019, actually. And it's very scalable. You go into the internet and look for the woman and the cat. It's crazy. Like, it's been used for all kinds of setups, you know, and I think that's the thing. I mean, I don't know, I've really just, it's made me laugh and all of that. So again, we're talking about memes. So let's bring it home to what we're going to speak about tonight. So this guy here says, yeah, who said crypto was stressful? You know, I'm 21 and I feel great, you know. And then, yeah, there's the other one for Bitcoin versus the US dollar, you know. I'm sure it's self-explanatory. And then where we are and what we're going to talk about today around DOGE. Does anybody know where the scene comes from? You know, the one with Elon Musk and the DOGE? Or who doesn't know? I mean, maybe it might be the exception that we're looking for here. Who knows? I'm sure we all know, right?
I don't, Tim.
You don't? Okay. Bianca, can you help us here? I think this is a lady's treat. Or Josie. Anybody? Bianca, maybe you know. Where does this come from? The one from Elon Musk and the DOGE. Okay, anybody then for that matter. Ooh, I'll be freaking out if nobody knows.
Looks like a scene from Titanic.
Thank you, sir. You've saved the day. Yeah, so again, just some housekeeping before we proceed. So we have endeavored, and I think that's really a very unique model, because I've really studied now and really looked out more. We have endeavored to give a very agnostic view of cryptocurrency as a whole, not Bitcoin, because I mean, everybody else talks about Bitcoin, or they talk about, oh, Bitcoin SV, and I see other people selling other things, mining city, whatever. But in our case, we give a very agnostic view. And then we also try to make it as, yes, we give concepts, but also you'll see we seek to be very practical as well. so that you're able to take action at the end. And there's a call to action at the end of each of the sessions. And then again, we have developed resources and tools that we are using. In fact, today we are reusing our framework for the 3rd time running, and it's going to be an exciting experience together as we do it. So today we're going to look at a brief history of DOGE. We're going to do the evaluation through the framework, and we're going to have some questions to interact around, just really some sharing moments. And then again, this is just a catalog of some of the resources. The index, we publish it every 2 weeks. Of the top 5 coins which you should look at and maybe invest in. By the way, Sol is trending well. You know, it's actually, I think it's gained, I don't know, 15% or whatever in the last 24 hours. So, I mean, if you invested in that, it was in our index the last time. And then the framework is what you'll see. And then, of course, the strategy template is what we covered previously. So, okay. Again, housekeeping, recommendation, attend all the sessions if you can. If not, catch up and with the recordings, and obviously application is everything. And then, yeah, so let's get to this. So I think I didn't really want to go heavy on this, you know, other than just really just give us an overview and a picture. And to say firstly that actually DOGE, I have discovered a lot just doing this study and preparing for this class. That it actually is among the old coins that we have, because if you think of it, Bitcoin started in 2009. And then DOGE 2013, Ethereum 2015, the others are actually kids after that, if you really think of it. And there wasn't really anything called altcoins as such in its substantive format prior to probably 2013, 2014, and thereafter. It's only then the explosion, you know, picked up with the likes of Ethereum emerging in 2015, and then obviously 2017, everything went ballistic. And we're even in a point of insanity now. We have more than 9,000 coins. They keep on growing, and it's absolutely crazy. So these guys really took this and they created it. And how they did it? Very simple. Copied Bitcoin code, because it's open source, and modified it. You know, 2 guys, one working for IBM, the other one for Adobe Systems, with a strong programming background. And then over time, I mean, they had a certain target, but initially, I mean, that just got blown off. And that's why, you know, there's no cap really. It's as many coins, they release, I think 5 billion a year. So it's inflationary, if you will. Now, the other very interesting thing which I discovered, which I think initially I would have trash talked DOGE, but I'm not thinking, you know, you'll see in the framework that there's quite a lot of accolades to it. Now, after this thing took a life of its own, and I think, you know, it went, and the internet subculture developed a very strong one, especially via forums like Reddit, which is a social media platform. And, you know, the founders, it was almost this thing they were never expecting, and they just really felt like it just was really beyond them. And actually they took a backseat, extended leave and that kind of thing. And they've really been on a backseat ever since then. In fact, the 2 founders, kind of, you know, removed their social media contacts and all of that, and kind of are pretty much not really reachable. Almost similar to Satoshi Nakamoto, but I mean, in this case, they are known individuals. And then it had some very interesting use cases around the 2014, 2015, 2016. Among the most notable is fundraising for the bobsleigh team that was going to the Winter Olympics. Also in Kenya, they did a fundraising for a very successful initiative in my home country for a water initiative using DOGE. And then if you think of it, it has remained very cheap. It's below $1. So there's obviously a low barrier to entry compared to Bitcoin. So again, and then just a bit of, you know, another fact is the fact that this was a meme that was trending at the time. They call it Shiba Inu, which was just a dog image, and that's what they used for their logo. And these guys just created this thing to be kind of like a joke, to express emotion, to express moments. It wasn't really serious. It was never meant to be serious. But this joke has grown, and it has, you know, yielded a lot of, you know, made people very wealthy. And, you know, that's why we are really looking at it, because it's just really an anomaly. It's a phenomenon, if I may put it that way. And then in 2021, because I think the Reddit community and, you know, these people felt that they needed a cover because now their founders disappeared, and they reached out to a number of people. And I think there was a top 3 shortlist, and what do you call it? The final person chosen was actually Elon Musk, who now has been a big champion for it. I mean, other people have come on board, celebrities, the likes of Snoop Dogg, and there's just quite a number of people, whether it's in the sports arena, movie stars and all of that, who've really been championing it. Now, there's been a movement to really say, let's get DOGE to $1. The other one is, let's get DOGE to the moon. And I think Elon Musk is also fronting that as well. So, I mean, this is just a snapshot summary in a very practical, simple way. You can read, I mean, we have a very comprehensive guide that Raphael shared with us on the Telegram channel that you can actually refer to, which gives very, very detailed, background as far as Doge. So let me carry on. Now, after giving you that snap overview, does Doge fit in your portfolio? That's the question, and why? Unmute yourself, boom, give us, how does it fit into your portfolio, or why does it fit in your portfolio? Theo, I think you're the front runner here.
Okay, I go first then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, like you said, Doge, before I came across Doge a long time ago, and the bulk of my Doge was given to me free as tips for online stores. So, but then I never took it serious. I just dumped it somewhere. And I think late last year when Elon started promoting the whole stuff, I didn't still take it serious, because if I took it serious, I probably would have put my whole tax returns on it. And by now, I won't be in this meeting. So,
yeah.
But then I noticed a trend with Doge. Like, it goes down and it goes up, and that's what I look for in cryptocurrency, the movements. So the reason why it fits into my portfolio is because it's been good for profit for me. So when it goes down, I put money. When it goes up, I remove my money. And in a way, I'm struggling opinion to the point that for crypto, like, the investment in crypto, it's not something that you want to live for a very long time, except maybe you are putting it in a coin that has usage, that has utility value. For me, Doge, I don't know, I'm still opinion that it doesn't still have a real utility value as compared to maybe Ethereum as a coin. So, but for investment value, it does have investment value because it moves a lot, and it's been moving a lot of recent.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Theo, for that. In fact, actually, we're going to come back to the question of strategy, because that's another question that is there, which I think you're going to share, whatever you're able to share in terms of your strategy and what you think works. Because I actually asked that openly because I felt it's something that rather should be driven from the floor than it's being prescriptive for me, because I have just bought Doge, I think, the other day, from a play perspective. But let's go through. Anybody else maybe wants to say something before we go through the framework, because the framework will actually filter for us and it will give us another view based on what is captured there. Maybe let's have one more comment. Does Doge fit in your portfolio, and why? Julia?
Tim, if no one is going, yes, I think on my end it fits in my portfolio, and I actually have it as an investment at the moment. But I just started with it, I think about a month ago or 2 months ago when it started trending. So I do agree with Theo. I use the same strategy like he does. So you put money when it's at the lowest. And then, of course, when you get to a point where Elon Musk says something, the value is going to go up maybe in a week. So that's how I've been playing it. So I put money when it's at the bottom, and like in a week, I withdraw my profits. And then I put it in a stable coin. And then maybe I somehow leave a certain percentage in Dogecoin, just a small amount that I can risk to say if I lose it, I won't mind. So that has been my strategy. And of course, it does fit in my portfolio right now.
Okay. Tawanda, should I bag you now or later? There's a part 2.
Nana, bag me later, Tim.
Okay, fine, cool. Okay, let's go through the framework. So here we go. Now, you remember this framework, right? I mean, those of you who are there, who have been there, you have seen this actually a few times. So this is our evaluation framework, which we'll look at. The first point is obviously the question of utility that Theo mentioned. And so the question number one is, what problem is it solving, And I think really from my own understanding, it's really mostly adoption of crypto as a whole. And I think that's not really a small time thing. Previously, as I said, I would have rubbished it and said, no, it's just a joke. But after looking at this from a framework perspective, I'm actually convinced that it's perhaps as important as any other. Why? Because I use the analogy, which might sound silly. You may have baked the best cake or made the best dish, but what value is that dish if nobody really eats it? Just think about that for a moment. Crypto is amazing. Oh, Bitcoin is amazing. Ethereum does all this magic. But what if nobody really cares about it and nobody adopts it? So what value will it be? So that's, I mean, for you guys who are familiar with the technology adoption curve, that's, what really drives technology at the end of the day, adoption. Adoption is everything. Now, the other thing based on the examples I've given is around its use cases in goodwill and charity, and on the tipping aspect, which, got Theo some money, like you're somewhere, you're filling a survey, you're given some Doge, or, you're doing something good, or maybe we need to help some team going to the Olympics or whatever. We need to help a community, let's use Doge as our point of rally, and it's because it's just pennies worth, or at least that has been the price, then let's use Doge. So, and then there was a certain aspect of almost a certain rebelliousness, which kind of picked up because of the fact that Reddit is a community, which was around to say, no, this is crypto for ordinary people. In fact, what Elon is talking about is to say, this is the people's crypto, which is very, very interesting concept. Now, obviously, I mean, celebrities have come on board and all of that, and the whales are there, the people who pump prices and whatnot. But there's a certain logic and rationale to say, from an adoption perspective, largely from these use cases of charity and goodwill, and also, just saying, okay, for the underdog or the common person, this could be their crypto. It's the people's crypto. Now, is this a scalable problem? And the answer is yes. If you look at the world's population in terms of those who have, the haves versus the have-nots are more. And then how large will its impact be, or might its impact be? Let me put it that way. And my view is that it's actually very high, because ordinary people, if they relate to this, because remember, this is almost like religion. Money is a question of belief. So if people believe and think, because I mean, I'm in different forums and I see people who are saying, yeah, Doge to the moon, Doge to $1, and you wonder, like, this person is crazy, they keep on repeating the same thing, and you, and it's like, okay, So I'm just saying, based on my view against this framework, that actually the impact is large. Now, demand and supply, it's inflationary. It's obviously, I mean, unlimited supply, that's actually its weakness. Its algorithm and rules, it's pretty much Bitcoin, which became LTC or Lucky Coin, and they just copied that. It's pretty much, if you really look at it, the summaries, it's actually the code base of Bitcoin. It works the same way with minor changes. And then there's not really much development and other than just really maintenance by the community. So what that means is, from a model and approach, how are they solving the problem? The beauty of stability is there. I mean, and also from the way they kind of put the block sizing and all of that, it's actually faster than Bitcoin from day one. So it's not like 10 minutes. It's actually, I think, a minute or something to be able to settle the blocks. And then simple use cases, it's very simple. It's not trying to change the world or anything. So it's just, there was no drama, there was no grand vision, nothing. So just simply saying, hey, here's some love, let's spread, like almost like clicking a like button. It's like, yeah, I'm sending you some Doge, not really anything serious. And that makes the barrier to entry very low. And then in terms of uniqueness, what makes it stand out? Again, it's a meme coin, we've just talked about, memes and where they sit, we like humor, we like jokes, we like laughter, we like to be able to really not to take ourselves seriously. And then obviously the celebrity aspect of it, the hype by celebrities, and then obviously the self-appointed Doge father who has come on board to the rescue, it makes it also very unique. Now, in terms of the founders, I think from the history, they left in 2015, but it's amongst the longest running blockchain, successful blockchain endeavors, alongside the likes of Bitcoin. So it's not something that I think would just be ignored, and you'll see it as, okay, maybe it's not anything meaningful. And then perhaps the most important aspect is the fact that it's really, really deeply entrenched in the community. So it's community driven in as much as there's no dev. And then you have obviously the likes of Elon Musk and so on, who are really pushing it out. From a delivery roadmap perspective, it's been working, it's been live, so it's not It's not something that is a theory, because I think the challenge with most of the projects that we have at the moment, those 9,000 ones plus, is that most of them are just a piece of paper. It's what you call a white paper. Welcome on board, Collins.
Oh, thank you very much.
Great, it's great to have you. I know it's your first time. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so you're actually in good time for the objective part of our review of DOGE. I'm just talking through our framework, which we are using to evaluate these coins. It's scalable, it's applicable across any coin, really. You can use it. You can use this framework to evaluate it and answer this set of questions and objectively have a consistent way of answering the question whether it's something that is worth looking at or not. So, so I'm looking at delivery roadmap. So I think that's a very important thing, because many coins are just white paper. It's somebody with an idea. They paid somebody on Fiverr some money. Somebody wrote a clever idea, but there's no product, nothing tangible. But DOGE has been running since 2013. And any plans and milestones, there's no really clear vision, direction, or anything. But I think it remains in the speculative space. We have all talked about it in terms of an investment perspective. So it's been in the pump and dump kind of space. We pump the price, it goes up, people take profit, that kind of thing. So it really kind of sits in that space at the moment. And then there's, again, the hype from celebrities and lots of media attention as a result. In fact, it's probably among the most well-known cryptos just because of the hype and because of the attention it has gotten. I mean, alongside the other two front runners, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think I'm going to just go to the next slide, which really is just an extension of this framework to look at tangible aspects of it. I think in terms of where it sits today, it was top 30 for a very long time. And then it moved to the top 20, and then now it's actually on the top 10. In fact, top 5 to be precise. And that's no mean feat, because again, the question of adoption, its use case as a speculative, investment vehicle, and all these other use cases, the element of the fact that it's still cheap, have really played into its favor. So if you look at it in terms of the key metrics that you care for, trading volume and liquidity, those, scores very well. Where it's listed, it actually scores equally with every other. And as I said, even in terms of ranking, it's a top 5. Now, in terms of financial backers, again, it's community driven. Is it something that is integrating yet with other solutions? Not really at the scale at which Ethereum and Bitcoin have. In terms of ecosystem, that's still low. In terms of barrier to entry, in terms of price, it's still low. Again, that is actually a very good thing, because if you think of it, whereas institutions or celebrities may be taking note of it, and maybe some people are playing into it. Elon Musk, for example, talks about DOGE, but we all know that he's investing in Bitcoin. So institutionally, from a Tesla perspective and his other investments, the likes of MicroStrategy and all of them, they're doing, products, ETFs and the likes are coming on the back of Bitcoin and Ethereum, not necessarily DOGE as yet, even though the aspiration to try to get it to $1, get it to the moon and all of that. So I think hopefully, how do you guys find, is this helpful in terms of an objective way of looking at this? Maybe just, let's get some feedback from the floor so that I'm not just talking to myself. I know it's a lot of information within a short period of time. Are you finding this useful?
Definitely, Tim. And I think I like your comment about Elon Musk not entirely investing in DOGE, but pushing it on the other end, which is actually quite interesting for me to know, I think.
It's a Trojan horse. He said, to the moon. And then, but honestly, I think it's good either way. I know some people I was one of those people who was worried to say, maybe this is not really good for crypto, but it's almost, DOGE has carved its space, and you'll see it in terms of other DOGE like coins which have emerged on the back of DOGE itself, who are in the meme category. In our index, I've listed DOGE twice now in the segment of niche/meme coins to think about, So I may not like it, I may not agree with it, but it's something that you can't ignore it because of the monetary value that it brings in terms of investment value potentially. Any other person how are you finding this? Does this resonate? Does this make sense? Is it triggering some ideas for you?
Yeah, Tim, it does make sense, because These are very key terms that you need to look into before you go into buying any coin: the trading volume, the cap, the what do they call it again? What the coins are rated by, the ranking on coin market cap and all that, to know whether you are buying a coin that is not going to go up at all and all that. So it's really useful. It's really useful in terms of evaluating.
Thank you, Theo. So maybe let's just go to the next part, which is just really around, let's compare. I had to put this one. It was like Doge versus ETH versus Bitcoin. And it's like day and night from the beginning of the year. Can you see the difference in terms of return? Why it's actually, can't ignore. I mean, 12,000% from January. That's insane. Versus less than 100 for Bitcoin and about less than 400, so about 300, almost 400% for Ethereum over from January to date. You know, so this, I mean, this might be a few days.
This is a graph that makes you want to cry.
Are you guys seeing the picture here?
I had a shit ton of money.
Crazy.
I had a shit ton of money in January I wasn't using. So
I'm retired early, my friend. 12,000%. You know, that's not a small time return number. Sorry, Godfrey, thanks.
No, I was just saying this is crazy. It's crazy return, really.
Yeah. So when people tell me, I'm waiting, I'm gonna think about it, I say, you know, you cannot really think about it. It's not really something to go home and think about it, because this thing moves. It moves. I'll show you now. Maybe not in detail. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it again, but a coin they just dumped the other day and it just went crazy, ballistic, like crazy, you know. And it's not like if you say, I'm gonna wait for next week, you come back, you'll be buying the top, and then what will be the rest of us doing? Like pulling back. And then you're sitting there hanging with something that doesn't have any value. Now, I must put this disclaimer because we are responsible in this community. And that's why you'll see in the next section, I'll ask about where does this really fit in the whole setup. That, you know, I think I even put the disclaimer on the Telegram channel, you know. They say WWF wrestling, don't do this at home. Like, I think for beginners, as we are starting, unless you've really, really understood, that's why we have a framework that allows us to look at this more objective. I'm not saying to anyone, go jump, buy Doge, all of that. I'm saying, look at this, do your due diligence. We'll make this slide, the evaluation framework available to you. Look at it, do your own research, and then make your own decision based on you know, your rational and reasoning. Now, I would still agree with Theo largely to say it's still a non-utility coin from a very strong fundamentals perspective compared to these two candidates that we have, Ethereum and Bitcoin. But that does not disqualify it in terms of an opportunistic, you know, view where you can actually get such huge returns. So yeah, there it is. So let's carry on. So what is your bag size? That's actually the question on strategy. And I think I need the people who've all of this information that you've assimilated. What bag size, you know, how big will you go? Would you go? Would you go mega? Would you go small? Would you go medium? I don't know, how big would you go on this one? I'm just curious. This is going to be purely community views because it's the strategy we are shaping together. And why?
Tim, maybe just on my side, a comment on the previous slide. On the, of course, the correlation between Bitcoin and Dogecoin.
Yes, I didn't get about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think you just forget to mention it. Maybe you can just take us through, because there is definitely a correlation. But maybe before you do that, the Dogecoin percentage returns are linked to a person's risk appetite. So to say, what I find when I invest in either Ethereum or Bitcoin, I worry less. I don't normally even think about, okay, how much did I put in? I go to sleep and I'm rested. But if I invest in Dogecoin, there's that risk appetite that comes with it, and a care, that is linked to it. Like you sleep with one eye open. In the next morning when I wake up, so there's that risk. Of course, the percentage returns is very high, but that's because the risk is also very high that you are taking. And maybe that's the reason. And of course, the correlation, and I think this one you just have to highlight it, the correlation that is between Dogecoin and Bitcoin in terms of, when one goes up, the other one pulls down. Maybe you can also just give clarity on that.
Thank you, Julia. Thanks for the reminder, because I actually put that very deliberately with that view, because it's something I've observed. I think when we had Bloody Sunday about 3 weeks ago or so, the thing that was going up when everything was tanking was actually Doge, strangely enough. There were very few other coins which were going up, but not in any substantive format. So it almost became, because there are three, places that things of what happened. So one, dispose your coins, put it into a stable coin. The other is dispose your coin, put it in a thing that is moving. So Bitcoin obviously pulls the rest of the market down. But in this case, it was like Bitcoin was pulling everything down except Doge, and Doge was going up, which I thought was very interesting. And I thought it was just a once-off thing. I kept on observing it, and I've noted an inverse correlation with Doge in particular. And I'm almost seeing that this is actually something that might happen with this meme kind of categories, which are very aggressive in terms of how they pick up. And whenever Bitcoin picks up and the other altcoins kind of pick up, then you find it actually shrinks back. So that's the other thing that I thought, that I've observed that I think I just wanted to share. Obviously, I mean, what Julia mentioned earlier around when a tweet comes from Elon, or there's something around, so some of the celebrities, whether it's Paris Hilton, whatever, or Snoop Dogg or whatever, say something, there's a certain impact it has on Doge in terms of it pumping. I think, yeah, that's something I wanted to just share. I don't know if Theo, you've observed anything around this pattern, or anybody for that matter who may want to comment if you've observed anything in the market.
No, not really. My only observation is the volatility with Doge. It goes up very fast and comes down very fast, mostly. So, I mean, patience is key, and like you said, having a strategy is key. So you know what you are doing, because it's easy to panic when it comes down all of a sudden, and I mean, another thing is to stay off leverage trading or anything like that. So you don't get margin call and liquidation when it falls all of a sudden.
That's a very good point. I think mostly of what we focused here has been really buying the coin itself versus trading it. Trading, trading, you're putting leverage and all of those things, and they're very unforgiving if things go the wrong, Yeah. Great. So I think let me just carry on with the other question. Any comment on the floor? How big would you go? Based on the analogy that Julia gave us, if you go the biggest, I don't know whether you'll close any eyes. I don't know.
No, right now on Doge, I think I would go the biggest until it gets to $1. I do think Doge will get to $1 comfortably. So if you have money in Doge now, I mean, if you don't want to sell until it gets to $1, I think it's fine. But
it's sub 50. Yeah, it's sub 50 at the moment. It's actually below 50 cents, which is beautiful.
Exactly. But after $1, I can't guarantee your safety.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you, Theo, on that one. I think I'm gonna die with Doge. Let me die with Doge.
I'm poke Tawanda here at this point, because Tawanda, I did this because of you, because I kept on discouraging and saying, no, don't go. And then I'm now obviously just coming out clean and saying, yeah, please. Tawanda, your thoughts? How big would you go?
Nah, I'm still very, very skeptical.
Extra small, not even one, like X small, or is it X
no,
small?
Tawanda, no, that's not acceptable.
I'll go number
no,
one.
Tawanda.
No way.
No. Not Tawanda. The Doge is literally it's literally at its bottom now. So you need to look at your trend lines. Where is it rock bottom and where is it its high? So right now the peak of Doge is at 10 rand. So when it goes to 5, that will be peak bottom. So that should be your entry point. So just look at your strategy very careful. But I think don't make a mistake of not letting Doge go, because I think it's really gonna give us good returns. Just analyze it again.
Again, to your point, Julia, you are just touching the point you brought about 2 minutes ago.
Closing your eyes when you're sleeping.
And because the reason why, the one thing I totally agree with is you don't want not to be there. But then
Yes.
that said, I think all these celebrities and all, they can only go so far. And maybe to Theo's point, Theo thinks they'll go as far as $1. They can't take it any higher, or from there you begin. You're saying after $1, then it's risky.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do feel so. I do have strong convictions that after $1.
But $1 is so far though. We are talking about US dollars, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are only on 6 rand now. We are not even halfway.
Yeah, $1
So that's
is
the thing.
about.
We are
It's
not even
about-
halfway.
14 Rand. At this
It's
point, I
currently
think-
about, Dogecoin is trading about 45 cents currently.
Yes.
That's what, $6? Is it 6 or 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are not that
My
far
thing-
from $1.
Yeah.
My
So
thing is, Theo, I'd ask you this. How long do you think it'll take before it gets to $1? Because I think that question now would tell me, do I then invest in it, or am I a long-term holder, or am I, because my strategy, I'm still saying 20%, if I get return for 20%, I take that money, that 20 out,
Okay.
and then I put it somewhere. And then I put it
Yes.
somewhere.
Yes, that's
So
a good
for me-
strategy.
yeah.
For me,
I'm actually happy we're
I
getting
put-
to the guts of it. Yeah, I like that 20%.
So-
So it works. Yeah.
So just last week around this time, I think around Friday and early Saturday, Dogecoin rose to 70 cents. I think that was in preparations for Elon Musk's program on Saturday Night Live. So
Yeah.
to answer your question, on around the time I think it will get to $1, my prediction is before the end of this year, it would hit $1. It's likely to come down again after that. But I don't think is it would go further than $1, because when I check the coin market cap, so you need to know that currently Doge is more valuable than companies like Amazon, like Apple. These are trillion dollar companies. So if Doge is getting big like that, and the fact that when Tim talked about the inflation rate of the coin, it's not like Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin, there would only be 21 million coins ever. But I think for Doge, they keep releasing those coins. So that, I'm not such a good economist or accountant, but I know the more coins are available, the harder it would be for the price of the coin to rise. So,
I agree with you, Theo. And maybe let me just share a perspective here. Last week, exactly as you said, interesting. My friend, she's in the US, and yes, my sister just joined from the US. Hello. Good to have you. Yeah, it's great to have you. Wow, I really am excited that you're here. You're able to make it. So yeah, we're talking about Doge. So, and this friend of mine, she bought from Robinhood just a few hours before. I think probably about 48 hours before. And I remember telling her, please secure the bag. I think I even posted on the Telegram channel. And I said, please guys, this thing, I mean, it had come to about 73 cents. And I said to her, and then she said, you know what, Tim, I'm going to sell now. So I said, yep, go for it. She sold. And it's actually pulled back right after that. I mean, because when Elon, I woke up in the morning to watch him, the thing didn't really pump. It didn't. It just went tanked instead, So, and it was a take profit moment for many people. So again, I think, let me just calibrate this so that we are not lost. Fundamentally, our view in this forum and what we've shared, and that's why we have the framework, is fundamental analysis is absolutely the most important. So there are three types of analysis you'll do. You'll do the fundamental analysis, like what you use the framework, and then you'll do obviously your technicals based on the charts and graphs. But I think fundamentals will always carry you, and then sentiment is based on what does Helen said, But we invest in coins that you strongly believe in. But if you want to be opportunistic, then I think DOGE fits in that space of being opportunistic. So we are not asking anybody to now deviate from your strategy and now go wayward and invest in things which don't have a clear utility. But, if you have capacity to be able to have some money and you can choose a bag, not too big, based on your risk appetite, then go for it. So it's not an either or. That no, this is actually a coin which doesn't have any make sense and doesn't fit anywhere. It actually fits in there in the portfolio somewhere. You just choose how big your bag will be, whether it's small, medium, based on your risk appetite, or large. Theo is very large, extra large, and then Tawanda is sub small.
I do own what I did with DOGE is I do own a lot of DOGE that I didn't buy, so I'm keeping that for $1. Hopefully we'll get there.
You and I are gonna be very close friends.
Yeah, but the ones I'm buying with my money now, like I just most times I just look for a 10% increase or 20% increase, like Tawanda said, or who mentioned 20%. So with DOGE has a high volatility, so you can easily aim at 10-20% increase. Let's say you buy at 45 cents now. I can assure you that before the end of this week or next week, it will go to 55 cents. Keep it till it's 55 cents, you sell again, you've made your 10-20%, you move out your profits, recycle again. I mean,
maybe just a question for Theo, team.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just a question for Theo. At some point, Bitcoin did crash, right? So people,
yes,
especially when I think at the beginning, a lot of people invested in it, and then it crashed to the bottom.
Yes.
And a lot of people never got back. Now, when I'm starting to think now the same thing could happen with DOGE. It might not happen, it could happen.
True.
Yeah, so we just need to look out, because if you hold for too long and it reaches the rock top, and then you are still holding, and then it goes to the bottom and it crashes, then you lose literally almost everything. I'm just hoping it doesn't get to a point where DOGE literally crashes down.
Yes, I hope so too. And to be honest, I mean, that's a very, very possible possibility. Permit me to say it like that. I mean, I think if there is a lesson I've learned from crypto is the risk. That's why they talk about high volatility and all that. So, I mean, as at last year, I think Bitcoin was selling for around $10,000 or so. It crashed it's lost more than half of the price, rock bottom, like you said. But look at it this year again, it's $50,000 plus. By next year, who knows, Bitcoin will be $1,000 or something worse. I mean,
So maybe let me make a very bold ruling, and you'll quote me if I'm wrong. You'll quote me if I'm right. DOGE is not going anywhere. DOGE has given birth. You will see it in the next section, which I'm going to show you. Why? Because DOGE and Bitcoin are actually cousins, and they are not going to leave each other. It's just that they are twins which face in two different directions. And it's been there for 7 years, since 2013. It's not disappeared. People thought it would die. Every time they thought this thing is not going to get anywhere, the community sustains it. Remember, it's cultic, actually. It's a very funny thing. It's like a religion which it doesn't make sense to you. It's like, why are these people doing this? But it just carries on because people believe in it. It's a very strange thing. I mean, nobody has bothered with the code base of improving it. They are not doing anything with it, but this thing is still there. People are buying it and pumping it, and it's just crazy. So what I'm saying is, in the human psyche, in the broader sense of things, my view, very strong view, is that DOGE is not going to go anywhere. It will lose value here and there, but it will kind of be there anyway. It won't disappear completely like the others, which you'll see. Let me just see if I can get in there. So, okay, let me just quickly go through the next set of slides. Where can you get this? Robinhood, for the people in the US, you can buy it there. I think Coinbase doesn't have it yet. I mean, there's a blank space there. I had Coinbase and I removed it. Locally, Altcoin Trader, all the other platforms pretty much. I mean, Binance, Kraken, Huobi. I signed up at Huobi the other day. I mean, my experience is not really great, but I'm going to tell you because I send my coins from Bittrex to Huobi, and I don't know, they never arrived. I don't know. I'm going to still follow up with them, and I'll probably share my perspective on my experience. But pretty much the global and the local exchanges have it. Locally, it's Altcoin Trader. Luno doesn't have it. For the US, it's Robinhood, which is the most popular. Yeah. So I think, let me just go to share my screen to show you what we have here. Because this is a whole, now, meme coins, and you'll be surprised what you'll see here. This guy here called Shiba Inu came the other day. It's not even a week old. And just look at the percentage in 7 days. Can you see that 7-day percentage? 1,500. You know, this is just, it's a paper. It's nothing. It's a piece of paper, by the way.
Yeah, I just see.
But
I just see
that
it
has
on,
been
I
trending,
see,
eh?
yeah, I see
Yeah.
it's on Binance just now. Binance has listed it as well.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It
So-
has been trending, Tim. I haven't really looked up around the fundamentals or whatever, or however it came to be.
There are no fundamentals. Don't worry. Doge might be the only one. But Shiba Inu, Doge Loan, Mass, SafeMoon, none of these things have anything to offer, to be honest. There are even some other controversial ones. These are just, look at all the Inus. Inu is dogs, whatever. Like, that's what I'm saying. Doge has given birth. It's inspired by Doge. This thing, it's a meme, category memes. Look here.
Yeah.
So if you want to check it for yourself, and it's not small time, 82 is this $1 billion or something. It's not small. Serious.
I think it's a good time to buy this Shiba Inu, especially.
Yes, I bought some actually, and it went like how many percent? Was it 300% or something? And then
Can we
pulled
buy
back.
it
I don't know.
locally?
You can buy
Can
it
we
on
buy it
Binance. They
locally?
listed it 2 days ago. Yeah. No, locally, I don't know. No, not yet. No.
So
It's
so
only
for
on-
me,
Mm.
this, like, look at that price. That's a coin I would be buying now to hold. I'm not even looking at it, because the beauty, I think, at that price, if it gets to a cent, I've made millions.
True.
So here is where to buy. Binance, all of you guys are safe. They listed it 2 days ago. Huobi actually signed up because of this coin, but thankfully Binance saved me. So I don't know. I mean, Binance has it. So most of us are on Binance. So you can find it there. And the confidence of Binance is high. You can see the confidence factor. So you will retire soon, Tawanda. Don't worry. Put some money. Put all your savings.
No. So I'm going to stick to my strategy. Like, now I've got my Matic coin is more than 20% now. Tonight I'm just taking that profit out, and I'm putting it into this Shiba Inu.
Nice one. Nice one.
But for me though, the strategy for me is, you see that 20% gain, I would then be looking at coins like this that I just put
I like
for the
that.
long
I like
term.
That's
I'm not even going to look at it.
then
I
that's
like that.
brilliant. At least one of them will make it to the ocean.
So with today's discussion, I was going to take that return. I was going to put it into. I was going to move my from port number 1 to maybe port number 2 of the Doge, but now I'm going with this one now.
Yes,
Can you look at the volume? Can you look at the volume? Look at from the March 12th. We obviously didn't know where this thing was. It's this March. Look at this. Boom. April. Boom. Look at this. 19. I mean, this is crazy. These are serious numbers. This is what actually how you validate what to buy. Because if it's too low, then I mean, some coins you don't bother because it's just too low. But this is serious volume. It's really serious volume. And in terms of the rankings, it actually sits quite pretty. It's here. It's actually somewhere here. Shiba Inu is number 20. It was nowhere.
I just don't like the fact that it's not listed locally. I would have loved to buy it on Luna or something.
It will not list locally even in the next 6 months. I can promise you that, because it's a high risk thing. Nobody knows. People like Binance, even the CEO wrote and says, I don't really approve, but people have requested. It was because of public demand that they listed this thing. So Doge cannot be ignored anymore. So it has given back.
I just tried to open Shiba Inu on Binance now. They made me accept some serious terms.
Yes.
Like you're totally responsible for your losses and
exactly
those kind of things.
So guys, let's bring it home because I just want to disclaimer everything. So for our purposes, please, 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 we are still long-term, we are still fundamental strong, we're still doing technical analysis, we're still doing, fundamental strong. I think sentiment is something that is last, because we are not saying chase the trend, because if you chase the trend, you never know, it might blow north, south, east, west, you'll be bopped around. And, as we say, don't do this at home. If you're just beginning, reach out. We are safe in the community, in the Telegram channel. We try to provide guidance that is very solid. So we're not saying go jump, get your savings, put it there, because Shiba Inu is going to make you retire in the next 2 months. No, please don't. Please don't do that. We are responsible. The traditional coins, like as we mentioned, the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum is doing well. It's going to do well because of very strong fundamentals for the next period. We are aiming and thinking it's going to get to 10,000 at least. It's right now 4,000, is it? What is it? 4,000, whatever it is. What's the number? I've lost track now.
4,000 earlier in the week.
Yeah, so and we did about another 6, but this is based on opinion in the market by thought leaders and so on. Again, don't quote me for it. I'm not a fan of Ethereum necessarily, but yeah. So I think we have a new champion for Shiba Inu, Tawanda. He'll tell us how it goes. You can put all your savings, my brother, and maybe you'll make it through. So let's summarize. So we have done in the last 3 weeks, we've covered crypto exchanges. In detail, we've given you 6 exchanges to look at, in fact 8, and recommendations local and global. That material is available. Julia did a wonderful, wonderful session last week for us on crypto exchanges, looking at altcoin traders, specifically how to use it. It's the most accessible for us here locally. Luna is there, but very limited options. And then today we've looked at DOGE Strategy. Next week, we're going to look at, Jeremy is going to help us and take us through the bundled approach, which is another strategy, another approach versus going and buying the coins directly. So this is an investment vehicle, which is probably for those who are, risk averse. It's bundles, we simplified and set up such that it's easy for you to be able to access the coin. So, and then I think we might take a break for 2 weeks, because I'm thinking of a rhythm of doing 4 sessions a break, and then 4 sessions a break, 4 sessions a break. We'll see. We'll talk about that next week, and then we'll get back to advanced. We'll just have a follow-up session potentially with Diana with DeFi. I'll do a follow-up on NFTs. Sorry, guys, if you're beginners and you don't know what NFTs are and DeFi, don't worry. In the community, the only thing I'll urge is please join our Telegram channel. Please join the Telegram channel. Julia, do you have the link which you can share? For
Yes, I'll say
just share to the group. So as I wrap up. So guys, I think I don't know, maybe let me get feedback as I give the last slide here, which says in this session we looked at DOGE and where it fits in the world of crypto and where it fits in your bag and how big your bag might be. And now, hopefully, from this session that you've been empowered to know and to make an informed decision about it, including the likes of Shiba Inu. I don't know. So yeah, so who let the dogs out, as they say?
You know how many coins
we
I've
let
just
the dogs
bought of
out.
Shiba Inu?
Sorry?
I just bought 2.5 million coins of Shiba Inu. I'm looking at it to get to
You're a millionaire.
You're a millionaire. We have 2 minutes, guys. Any comments, especially for the newbies? Collins, my sister, Josie, we would want to hear your voice. Just say something. How did you find the session?
It's good to know that there's some information that we can get, some reliable information, and that's very good. I myself, I'm just really new to the cryptocurrency. I just did about 3 weeks ago, but it seems very interesting. Yeah. And I wanted to also ask if we could avail some of that information that you passed on a few weeks ago, so that we could also read through it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, Collins. Okay. We're happy to, because this is a community-driven initiative. We have endeavored to really make this available to as many people across the continent. That's our mission. It's a pity. I have a bunch of slides on our vision and all of that subsequent to this, but let me not belabor because of time. Josie, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, Tim, thank you very much for the session. I'm actually a newbie here, and I'm just here listening. I'm trying to pick up with the cryptocurrency language. So it was very informative. So I'll be attending almost for every session.
Thank you, Josie. Please, we need to make money together. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the whole mission, really. We are very clear in what our mission is. We're going to share everything we know. Each one
Okay.
of us, whether Julia or Jeremy or Tawanda, we are going to share what we know. We are not going to keep anything to ourselves. We're going to share all we know. If we are making, and we are using a 20% strategy exit, we'll say that to you. It's up to you to go and use that to really, make a difference in your space. So anybody else, any other comment? My sister, you should say something. I want to hear your voice. Any other comments? Last one.
No other comments, Tim. I think on my end, I'm very happy, and I think I'm jumping in with Theo. We are doing this. What is the coin?
Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu thing. We'll give you guys feedback in the next 2 weeks how we got, but definitely, yeah, no, we are diving into that one.
Yeah. So Collins and I see Godfrey has joined. So please join the community. That's where the conversation happened. Even my sister, please join. We'll be able to give you all the material that you need. So with that said, thank you so much. It's been amazing. As always, we'll connect again next week, 6 o'clock South African time. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful evening, and let's continue learning about crypto. This is a revolution. We are doing it across Africa and around the world. God bless and have a wonderful evening.
Yeah,
God bless your team. Thank you, everyone.
Just,
Bye.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.